GenCon took place in Indianapolis between the 16th and 19th of September, and there were a ton of cool reveals. I'll do a quick roundup for you so you've got all the information in one place, and you can let me know in the comments below what your favourite reveal was. We'll do these in the order they were revealed in. So first up is Warhammer Underworlds Harrow Deep, and it's the biggest core box set that Underworlds has ever had. It's being billed as Season 2. I'm not overly familiar with Underworlds. I know about Beastgrave and all that, and it seems like it's a deck building miniatures game, which sounds pretty cool, but it's not a setting that I'm particularly interested in. The minis in this set look really nice. They're all brand new sculpts. There's a new Stormcast warband and a new Cruel Boys one, who are of course the new Ork faction. It's the first outing for a Stormcast warband wearing Thunderstrike armour, although in the pictures the paint job looks a bit silver heavy. It's blown up very large on screen, so it's almost unfair to judge, although I'm going to anyway. It kind of ties in with my thoughts on last week's masterclass, and those thoughts are linked up here, which were that it wasn't an overly impressive result from the tutorial. I know my painting leaves a lot to be desired, but my miniatures aren't on the marketing material for a multi-million-pound company, so... The Cruel Boys look cool, although the one with the cage around his head looks a bit weird, although that might just be the angle. I'm being very critical today, but I can't help but feel that they need another colour on them. They just look very muted. The little guys look great though, especially the Hobgrot. I love the colour of skin that they've used. Next we've got the Kill Team starter set. But wasn't Octarius the starter set, I hear you cry? Nope, that was a kill zone. There is a difference. The big difference seems to be that you don't get the Orc Fortress bits or the pump in the starter set, and you get a 56-page Learn to Play recruit booklet instead of the Octarius book. But the minis are the same, so you get all of the Death Corps models and the full Orc Commando squad. If I had to guess, I would say that this would be £100 compared to £125 for Octarius, but I could be completely wrong. If you've already got Octarius and you want to paint the terrain, I've got a little guide to painting Orky terrain up here. Each kill team will also be available separately around the same time as the starter set, so if you just want the minis, that might be your best bet. Kill Team got a lot of love at GenCon. Next up is Kill Team Chalnath, which is a new kill zone, and it involves new Sisters models and an upgraded squad of Pathfinders for the Tau. This looks to follow almost exactly the same path as Octarius. Two unique squads designed more for Kill Team than 40k. The Sisters get the Novitiates, and, shock of shock, I actually quite like them. I prefer this look to the usual Space Marine derivative Sisters. These are more like hard as nails battle nuns, which I would actually prefer for the whole army. I would like that to be the Sisters aesthetic. The Tau go to battle with a new Pathfinder sprue to upgrade the existing kit, which seems to be a trend at the moment after the Cadian upgrade sprue as well. I'm not necessarily against this approach. GW must think that their models are holding up after so many years, and they just need a little bit of a spruce and polish. If it's the difference between getting some goodies and no goodies, I will take some every single time. There's also scenery and a rules book with 9 new missions in it, so not quite the same as Octarius. With that, we got a separate rules book with the missions and the kill team sheets in a separate book. I don't think this will cost as much as Octarius because you don't get quite as much in the box, and not all the minis in the scenery are new sculpts. It's an interesting direction for Kill Team, and I'm assuming that both Kill Teams will be available separately at some point. If not, then that's a bit of a poor move, because all that's doing is trying to get people to buy a box that they only need half of, and we all know it's a hassle trying to find someone to split a box with usually. I'm taking it this one will take the approach of being a limited release box with a made-to-order window afterwards, so if you want it, get in quickly so you don't have to wait a few months. It's Blood Bowl time, and this is another one of my favourite boxed games. We get a brand new Khorne team called the Skull Tribe Slaughterers, and they look great. They are Khorne Berserkers with a few Chaos Doggies thrown in for good measure. The Khorngor look like werewolves on steroids, and they look really good. It follows the usual Blood Bowl team makeup of having 6 unique poses repeated twice, with minor differences, usually a head swap. It works well, and you never look at them and think the models look the same. For your money, probably £26 to keep in line with the other teams. You get 6 Bloodborne Marauder linemen, 4 heavier armed Bloodseekers, who look like Khorne Berserkers, and 2 Khorngor Beasties. I won't be picking these guys up because I'm not the biggest fan of Khorne, but my brother's already eyeing them, and there's a lot of excitement on Twitter about them. Remember the star player that was announced a few months ago, Syla Anfingrim? He would fit in perfectly with these guys. I guess that's the point. So that's it for Blood Bowl, and now we're on to the Black Templars army box, which a lot of people will be excited about. Besides the actual box itself, which does look awesome, this could be a dream come true for Black Templar players. There are 13 minis, 12 of them new, with only the Redemptor Dread from the existing range. The new Marshal model looks fantastic. I especially like his segmented armour plates. It's something a bit different to the usual Primaris armour, so I'm all for it. The skeleton on his backpack looks like he's about to squeeze a spot on the Marshal's head, so I really hope someone converts that. Not really. There's a 10-man Crusade squad, and, apart from having a range of upgrades, the really interesting thing is they have proper Primaris-sized scouts. These models look absolutely fantastic, except for the fact that crossing the Rubicon Primaris for the Black Templars seems to include getting a rather snazzy bowl cut at the same time. I'm not a fan of a few of the new heads, but it does look like there'll be the traditional buzz cut ones in there as well, so that's fine. It comes with a limited edition codex supplement with some amazing 3rd edition artwork. I have that book somewhere and it is a cracker. As well as that, you get data cards and a really big transfer sheet, which is an absolute godsend. I don't know about you, but I find it increasingly difficult to get things like Blood Angel transfers, White Scars transfers. You might get a few in a box, but you never get enough. It's obviously even worse if you've got a lesser known chapter, and you have to resort to different means to get your hands on transfers. Maybe even print them out yourself. What I'm getting at here is that it obviously forces you to find a different way to get your hands on transfers. It's lost business in my opinion, although obviously I don't know the ins and outs of the costs of printing these things and then distributing them, that kind of thing. Anyway, that was a bit of a tangent, but decals in the box, thumbs up. Next we've got what is currently my favourite setting in the 40k universe, Necromunda. There's a new book coming, the Book of the Outcast, which will include rules for all the outcasts and weirdos who live outside of the house system on Necromunda. I'm sure he features elsewhere, but I bought the rogue doc, Dr. Arachnos, because he looked quite delacky, and I thought he would fit into my gang, and it looks like he'll definitely be in this one. He might be in another book already, but that's part of the beauty of Necromunda. The books are a mess. Even if you think someone would be a perfect fit for a book, i.e. I thought Dr. Arachnos would definitely be in the Delac book, then they're not always in there and you're a wee bit disappointed. It doesn't really matter because every book has been a great read so far, so I've not wasted any money. The new minis for an Outcast gang are, for once, a bit uninspiring. Considering the great models we've already got, these ones are a bit plain. The Zone Mortalis Market, however, looks great. I've just got the Gang Stronghold and the Platforms and Stairs sets for Necromunda, so I'm going to wait till I get my hands on this one and then build one big scene with it all. GW seems to be going all in Necromunda at the moment and I'm loving it. I hope that's because it's popular. I really wouldn't like to see it disappear again. The last thing from GenCon was a teaser for something new coming to Warcry. It's definitely spiders, but in what form we don't know. Is it goblins riding spiders? Is it giant spiders on their own? Is it a brand new race of spider people? I don't know enough about the setting to speculate, so I won't, but I love seeing new stuff even if it's not something I'll pick up, so I'm interested to see what comes from this. So that's it from GenCon. I really hope you enjoyed the roundup. If you want to, chuck me a like, maybe even subscribe. We're very nearly at the 1,000 subscribers mark. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Cheers.